Check. What's up, everybody? Of course, it's your boy DJ Spyda the Don. It's Facts Podcast, and of course, I got somebody special with me today. It's my brother. It's the man who runs Valencia College and AMH. Who does everything? My boy John Q. What's up, bro?
What's going on? Just a man with many hats and a person.
You're being humble.
Nah, because I've been in situations where they're like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do this," and they're like, "Oh, well, toot your own horn. Why don't?" I'm like, I was like, "Damn, you asked. Like, what am I supposed to say? One thing? Come on, dog. We chilling today. Look, he in camera.
He's in camera.
Nah, but I told him, I was like, "So what am I supposed to say?" So now I got to the point where I only tell people. It depends on where we are. I'll be like, if we're in the club, I'll be like, I'm a DJ. If we're at the school, I'm a college professor. Like,
it's all context.
Yeah.
It's all context. My dog's over here messing with John. He's like, someone else to give me pets.
So in this situation on the podcast, I'm a college professor.
And DJ. I'm not letting you off the hook, bro.
I'm a DJ too. Are we talking music today?
We're going to talk a little bit of everything.
Okay, so I am a DJ. I'm an audio engineer, AV production person.
Thank you.
AV teacher.
If you need somebody to do all that,
music
this is the guy
stuff.
right here.
I don't mix anybody I only mix my stuff now. I tell people how to mix, but I don't
mix. Yo, if you don't know, he does a live show for artists. So definitely, artists, send in your music to him. Definitely get his opinion on it. He will give you advice sometimes. He's been ruthless to some people sometimes, but sometimes you gotta be mean to get people to do right.
Hold on, let me share everything. People have told me, like, there's a lot of people who watch the show and they're like, "You are really harsh on them," and I'm like, "But I'm not really. Come on, dog. You
Leon, go to bed. Leon, go to bed now." I wish y'all can see him, my dog, walking out. He looks so sad.
Nah, but I tell people, I'm just keeping it real. I was like, because I wish somebody kept it real with me when I started, but I'm not complete. I don't just trash somebody's stuff. I tell them how to make it better. If, like, there's only been like 4 people on that entire show where I was like, "Yo, you need to just quit." Like, it was one guy who was talking about raping somebody.
Whoa, yeah, he needs to go.
So I was like, bro, like, don't, just stop, man. If you think this is funny, it wasn't even funny. It wasn't funny at all.
It was just somebody just saying stuff to be a shock,
Yeah, shock value stuff, and it sounded terrible. And I was like, I don't even want to help you. So it's just quit. But that was, yeah. Other than that, y'all can send music to johnqreview@gmail.com. I finally made a Gmail specifically for it.
About time.
Yeah.
About time. You know what I'm saying? I honestly, I really appreciate you for doing that, because there's not very many artists. That's me just sharing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. So there we go. All right, hold up. It's gonna be loud real quick.
Yeah.
All right, let me turn it down.
He's responsible with this, y'all. Responsible.
Yeah, you know you got to do this. I got to hit that. All right, but keep saying it. I'm listening.
But overall, like, I appreciate you for doing that, because not very many people actually give the time of day to actually have a hard listen. Like, it's different, like, somebody just listening to your music and then somebody actually giving it a hard listen and then giving feedback, like critiquing it. And some people just say, "Oh, that's dope. Oh yeah, sounds good."
Most of them say that.
Yeah.
So I've listened to a bunch of review shows, and that's why I was like, I think, I wanted to do it just because it originally didn't start off as a review show. We'll talk about the history, but I wanted to do it the way I do it. I was like, I want to offer real feedback, because I work in this for real. All those other guys, you'll see them, their quality's terrible. Yeah. They're sitting there smoking. Having people pay them $10 for them to listen to their song, and it's like, that's just a cash grab. And I try to tell people, I'm like, don't spend your money on that. Spend your money in a place where you will make your money back. I tell people, don't send me money unless you're just sending me donations. I don't ask for money.
Exactly.
All I ask is that you tune into the show quick so that you can get your submission in, and I'm gonna get to it. Don't spend your money on these submission shows. Get your music played in them, because there's a lot of people listening, but don't pay the guy to play your music, man. That's foul. And I've had people come to me talking about, "Oh, you need to put a price tag on your opinion. You need to," and I'm just like,
what people don't understand is that price tag comes later.
Yeah.
When they realize the effectiveness of your advice, like, okay, I need this guy to either manage me or give me other advice, or give me some career direction, you know what I'm saying? Or become an engineer of my projects and stuff like that. Not very many people understand, like, how interesting it really can be with people who actually take actual caution and a hard listen to people's music.
Yeah. So I was like, I do it for fun because I enjoy it. If anybody's ever watched the show, I'm laughing. I'm having a good time. Like, and then I get to discover new music. That's why it's called New Music and Music Reviews, because it gives me a chance to play the new music I found and share it with people while they get to share their music with me. And that is what it is.
Okay, so then how do you feel that has that? You go ahead and reach for your water. No, not drink.
No, I'm a drink it. I'm hitting this share button.
I feel you on that. I think for you, how do you feel that has directly impacted your local reach, your local eyesight on artists from here?
I have absolutely no idea. I don't.
Dang.
I don't know. I don't like when it comes to like how they see me or how I see them or what.
Or how you see them. Leon, go back to bed. My dog is over here loving on John.
He loves me.
Leon, go to bed.
Every time I move my arm, he's like, it needs to be on me.
But see, he's gonna go now. He's gonna bring a toy. Okay, sit your ass there. Okay. But overall, like, I mean, how did you, when you come across local artists, how do you feel that works for you? Most
of them don't. I don't know. It's weird because a lot of local artists just write me off. I look like I'm a regular guy. It's weird. I don't see myself as somebody who's just like this legendary creature or anything like that. I expect them not to know me, and I don't know them. If I like their song, I will go up to them and be like, hey, can you send me that song? And honestly, 9 times out of 10, they don't send me the song.
Come on, guys. Y'all sleep on yourself.
Yeah, I don't tell them I'm a DJ. I don't tell them any of that stuff. Like, I just say, hey, I like that song. Would you be able to email it to me? Here's my email, or can you send it to me? Or a lot of them will be like, it's on iTunes. And I'm like,
before we get past that topic, man, artists, you got to understand, you never know who's in the room. You never know who's in the room. Like, I mean, my man's of course a professor. He does music. He manages DJ Marquis. You know what I'm saying? Coronavirus.
I don't even tell people that.
I'm dropping it. I'm letting it know out. The cat's out the bag, y'all. This guy, he's the one that got Cardi B on that thing. All right, but but overall, like, I don't know if people understand, like, just being friendly is a part, just networking and being a part of the music industry. That's how you get through it.
A lot of people don't know how to network. They never learn. So that's what I teach in my class. Even though I teach AV production, one of the main things I teach is networking, and how I always tell them, I'm like, somebody with that stuck up attitude won't get the call back. Like, they can be great. I've seen some of the greatest engineers I've ever met. They don't get called back because the person's just like, I hate working with that person. I can't stand that person. So it's like, be personable, be approachable, be somebody who can enjoy it, has a good time, because then that your client or whoever you're working with is going to have a good time, and then they'll remember you and they'll want to keep working with you, even if you're not the best.
Yeah.
As long as you get the job done and you make their life easy, you'll get the call back. So I always tell them that. And then I'm always telling them, man, don't, like, I know a lot of people may be introverts. I always say I'm an introvert who taught myself how to be an extrovert.
Just learning how to navigate it. Like, I think honestly for me, how I did that is because I've seen myself when I'm in those situations. Those are people like me. Like, so I'm never afraid. And if I'm at like a music conference, if I'm at like a open mic, bro, everybody's there. Here's an audio file.
Yeah,
and their artists are creative. So I'm like, okay, y'all me. Y'all might be a little different. Y'all just another version of me. So I'm just going to go out there, talk to everybody, do this, and getting in that. I think, honestly, people understand, like, social media makes it 10 times easier. Because back in the day, you had to go grab everybody's business card, file it, text them and email them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but a lot how the big side of the industry works. I don't want to sound like a toot, but how it works, it's weird because it's like, you have to be introduced by somebody who they already know.
Exactly.
And it's like the cosign culture. Like, people are like, oh, you got to do this to get a cosign, and it sucks, but that kind of exists. That is a big part. Yeah, it's a big part of it. If you work with this person and then, or you're friends with this person, or you're really good with this person, and then they're like, oh yeah, here's my homie, blah blah blah, and they're introducing you to a Sony exec or something like that, and you're like, and that person's like, oh, here's my homie. That Sony exec's gonna be like, oh, you must be good people if you're good with this person. And now your door has just bust wide open. You can call that exec up and you'd be like, oh yeah, it was blah blah blah's homie, and he'll be like, oh okay, what's good, man? I remember us meeting.
Exactly.
So you gotta be personable. You gotta network. I always say you're 2 people away from knowing anybody.
Yep.
And
I agree with that.
and they can, and anybody, and it doesn't even have to be somebody who's in the industry. They may be like, oh, my cousin is this, and then they may go to their cousin and be like, yeah, here's my friend.
Exactly.
And their cousin may be like, oh, if you're cool with my cousin, you're cool with me.
I'll be real with you. How I've always seen myself, like they always say, "Oh, you gotta be the plug. You the plug, right?"
I've gotten that too.
Yeah, I'm like, bro,
I ain't no plug.
in my mind, I'm like, yo, like I don't care about being the plug. I want to be the power strip where I know everybody, and I help the people who I really care about find something. Oh, I need somebody who does dance. Oh, I know somebody who does dance. Oh, I need somebody who mixes very well. Oh, I know a couple people who mix very well. I know somebody who runs a studio. Like, there's so much more valuable of having all these different networking contacts, and then also it all plugs back into you, so people know that you have you have more than just a couple of resources. You have a way to get people to another level, and that's what I've always taken the route of, instead of being an artist, instead of being an artist like I was like wanted to be as a kid. I'm like, there's so much more power of being like the executive, or being the guy who knows somebody, being the A&R, the arts and repertoire, where you know, oh, you need beats, I got beats. You need an artist, I got artists. I know you need a singer, I need a singer. You know what I mean? I can kind of network and make the plays in the positions that role. That's my dream job, but it kind of doesn't exist anymore.
Connecting dots. A&Rs, I'm dope. Like, they exist. It's their job has just changed.
Totally changed.
It's really changed. It's not like how you see in the old movies anymore. It's like the A&Rs are kind of like a sub manager.
They have
that
to be
doesn't
now.
manage. It's weird.
They manage the conversations that happen, but they don't manage directly the people.
It's weird because so in my situation, dealing with A&Rs, they just been vultures. Like, I know some A&Rs who are not, so I'm not talking about all of them, but in my
he's talking about you, whoever you are.
No, but in my situations, a lot of them have just been vultures, because they are trying to bring you to the table so that they can get a % of the deal that they work. So they're just middlemen.
But that's how they make money, though.
But then I know some A&Rs who has once they have these people under their roster, they keep working for them. So it's like they're a vulture to get you, but they will keep working for you. And they work for you by they have the email list. They're sending it out to all the DJs and radio stations and stuff like that. Your manager will do that, or if you're on a major record label, the A&R will do that. It all depends, but they're kind of like a sub manager.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people need to know, like, the differences. Like, some people don't know, like, oh, they're like, oh, I need this, I need a manager, but some artists aren't even ready for that yet.
Nah,
they need somebody who knows somebody. You know what I mean?
I mean, my homie Boogie, he was just like, artists don't need managers, they need lawyers, and that is one of the most truest.
Big facts.
That is, because these contracts, man, trying to read them, you got to get a lawyer. And if you're somebody who's just getting in the game and you don't have any major placement or major deal, but now they're starting to get on the table, your manager is just going to be like, all right, let's get a lawyer.
Well, you should have gotten in the first place.
Your manager's going to be like, let's get a lawyer, let's figure this out. But where a manager does come in is when now all the bookings are starting. Now your phone's getting blown up. Now all these emails are coming in, and they're the person to kind of shield you from that, where it's like, all right, I'll handle this. This is what so that you don't have to stress about it.
And I honestly would say, I would give any artist an advice it'd be about that. I would say, honestly, when you're looking for a manager, find that closest person to you who's believed in you the most and really has wanted to see you win. Because what's going to happen there, they already have a natural loyalty to you.
Yeah.
And they technically don't need as much of a like, there'll be a glorified road manager would get you farther in the beginning stages than I'm giving somebody 30 to 70, 20% of what I'm making, which is nothing right now. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, like, you get somebody who's willing to help you organize your plan of life, your road of life, which actually helps you get farther.
Most people's managers, from what I've noticed, are just, it was their friend. It wasn't a professional. You don't have to be a professional to manage somebody. I mean, you got to learn the industry, and it's a lot to learn, but you can learn it.
Yeah.
So you just find somebody who will work for you and try their best for you, and usually that is their homie.
Yeah, that's somebody
So
the closest to him.
it's not like nobody. Some people go after they get to a certain level, they will pay a management agency to
Yeah.
like manage them, but that's when they have the money. But almost everybody starting off, it's their homie.
But then they just keep that homie on as the road manager.
Yeah, which is also a valuable thing too, because sometimes if you are a manager, you will sometimes turn into the road manager as well. But that means you're on the road with that person
Day to day.
all the time, and you know you're dealing with all of the venues and stuff like that. It is a valuable position, but it's a big career to be a road manager. Like those major record labels hire tour managers out, like
Yeah.
just from different companies. But then when it comes to that, your name, I got a bunch of friends who are tour managers, and like that to get into that, it's more like, oh, this guy I know, he does he started tour managing for this little, he's a great guy. And the way you get booked as a tour manager, you have to be a great guy.
Yeah.
If you have a shitty attitude,
You can't go nowhere.
you're not gonna
you
yeah.
get kicked off the bus immediately.
Yeah, no, they will send you home. You work for them. You can't be stressing out because they're stressing out.
Yeah.
They're tired. They did all the playing, even though you're doing all the contracts. You're making sure they're on the airplane at the time. You're wrangling kids. If you're working for like a band, you're like wrangling kids. You know. Oh, am I popping in and out?
Yeah, you're popping in and out, bro.
Oh man.
It's all good now. We got you situated.
All right, but yeah, so it's like if you're a road manager and you're with like a band or something, you're wrangling these kids, trying to get them all together and make their flights and stuff. Same with rappers too. If you're like managing a young rapper on the road, they might be trying to have these girls here, and you got to do all the checks, and you just got to make sure that person is safe and doesn't get killed.
Let me just get your phone in the baggie, please. Put your phone in the baggie. But of course, John, that's not the only reason why I brought you into today, man. We got a lot of music that's been happening, a lot of entertainment news that's been happening, of course. Unfortunately, with the COVID-19 crisis, we haven't had a lot of music drop, but we definitely took part of a great planned event that happened over this past Sunday. But what I've come to notice is that the soundtrack of it, for me personally, was the new Run the Jewels album. I want to kind of get your idea of what people should be doing as far as artists should be thinking about during this time frame, as what they're going to be producing. Because I saw T Grizzly dropped a track, I think Meek Mill dropped a track, but Run the Jewels actually took, because everybody's kind of spacing out, like taking a step back. Of course, we can also think Killer Mike is the perfect person to take advantage of this time.
They
period.
did like a whole album. So did Freddie Gibbs.
Yeah.
Freddie Gibbs dropped one, and I listened to both briefly. You know, I like skimmed through. I've never been a fan of Run the Jewels, which is crazy because when Killer Mike came to Orlando, we talked and stuff, and I respect Killer Mike on the highest of high.
Well, think about,
but I'm just not a fan of the music.
You're not a fan of the music?
No,
like, even with the Run, like I'll be real with you. I've never been a fan of his music, like him by himself.
Yeah.
But Run the Jewels, like this, especially this past album, like I've never like really, I caught singles and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is like the first album I felt was like perfectly on time, on subject, right time frame, and it's shown in the response from it.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people talking about, oh, this is the album of the year, but for me, just it wasn't something like, even when they did the show, their last album, where it had like, you know, the fist in the their last album and stuff. Like
that's their logo.
Yeah, I just remember
it's on every album.
But that was like it was the big thing I remember, because I don't remember the name. I just never been a fan. And when Freddie Gibbs' recent album, I'm not a fan of it either, and that's weird because I love Freddie Gibbs.
So you actually listen to other Freddie Gibbs?
Yeah,
music.
Freddie Gibbs is one of the most slept on artists. Period.
Yeah. But I think one thing you can say about that is I think Freddie Gibbs, him just being purely on the Alchemist is a great producer. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that album, it was decent, but it's just like
it was very Alchemist.
That's what I was gonna be. But it's like that's why you need Freddie Gibbs to really kind of be broad, even though he's really good at what he does. But I like him. The Alchemist is a good. First off, I'll say this: it's a good stamp to have of the Alchemist being like, oh, I'll co-sign this artist. You get a whole album from me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I feel like you need more than just the Alchemist if you're going to be for Freddie Gibbs personally. I think he needs more variety on his album.
I mean, but his whole rap sheet, man, he's had Mad Lib. He's had so many producers. Mm-hmm. Like, he is so slept on. Like, he has so much good music.
Well, you know,
so much. This album, though, I've never really been a fan of Alchemist. So when it being very Alchemist, I was like, nah. He made a song. Freddie Gibbs got a song with like Tom Minch, man. It's fucking amazing.
All right, I gotta check it out.
Amazing.
Do you don't remember the name? They can help.
Nah, I just know it's Freddie Gibbs and Tom Mitch. But
I'm gonna look
it's
it up.
amazing.
I'm gonna look it up.
It's funky, jazzy, and they're like riding in the car, and Freddie Gibbs is in the back just spitting, and it's straight vibes.
I fuck with that. But my question to be off of that is like, what do you think artists should be doing? I mean, this entertainment, especially right now, the entertainment world's turned upside down. You know, we know that people are just making statements about Black Lives Matter. You know what I'm saying? Say the names. You know what I'm saying? We have, of course, with the entertainment industry as far as record labels, Leon, go back to bed. My dog, look,
He's
look,
sneaking over here.
look, you see this? Look at him. You trying to be cute? Go back to bed. Go, Leon. Okay, I'm just gonna talk. Okay, he's just being too cute. All right, Leon, come over here. Come here. No, Leon, no. We're recording over here. Go down. Go back. Go to bed. We're recording. It's just insane. Oh, y'all better like this video because my dog's in it, featuring in it. All you dog lovers, I need y'all. Anyway, please share. Anyway, man, I'm thinking like these artists are needing this time frame, especially with the record labels saying they're changing the label urban, which I don't think really means a lot. It really doesn't mean a lot.
These labels don't care.
Wait, did you hear about what the Grammys is doing? They're changing like the urban record. They took the label urban and they took a rap song. They like make more melodic rap song. I'm like, you didn't change anything.
They're pandering just like everybody else is pandering. Like, I mean, I guess let them. It's right now is a great time to be black. You know, they're pandering, trying hard. It's really because they're scared.
Yeah. They don't know what to do.
They're scared they're gonna lose money out of their pocket, and they're trying to say, "Hey, we're ally." I mean, some of them really believe that, but some of these corporations, they financed a lot of this stuff.
Yeah,
they financed a lot of these laws and stop and frisk and thing. It was some of their ideas with what is it Alec, you know. So let's not get political yet.
Yeah, we hold off on that.
Yeah. Let's not go yet.
Not go yet. Okay, so as far as music is concerned, you know, what have you been looking for this year? How did you respond to the COVID-19 crisis? We had DJs DJing on live, people on Twitch. You know, what did you do to keep your skills sharp?
I did my fair share of live. I pretty much go live every week. I was already doing that every week, so I just continued doing what I was doing. Since TYS got canceled, we started doing that live every week. And then I did a 8-hour live stream where I had all the DJs, and that was on Twitch. I did a few Instagram one. Well, not really. I think I did one that was fully on Instagram.
Okay.
Because I was like, that's getting played out.
Oh, yeah,
that got played out quick.
As soon as DJ D Nice got like 300K on his Instagram, I'm like, everybody's gonna jump on the bandwagon. And I was like, you know what? Do I want to join it, or do I just want to focus on that? What I did was I focused on getting the podcast set up better. As you can see, my podcast setup is pretty awesome. If I do I will toot my own horn. But I feel like I invested time into something that's kind of unique, but also definitely something that makes more sense for me.
Yeah,
I feel like I DJ in my spare time. I of course my piano is where my DJ setup usually is. I have my studio monitors over there, but it's like once everybody was jumping on the bandwagon, I'm like, you know what? Everybody and their mama gonna do this on Facebook, on Instagram. They're gonna jump on YouTube. They're gonna jump on Twitch. Like, there's people who are able to get the demonetization strikes off of them. I'm like, I've never been that great at getting them strikes off.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait, and I'm gonna take advantage of it, the podcast avenue, and then also take the time to practice without showing everybody my mistakes. You know,
I mean, I really just kept doing what I was doing. That's really what I did. And I mean, like, I learned some things. I watched YouTube tutorials. I always tell people to watch them because
Skillshare.
I watched them. Oh, I've never.
I joined Skillshare.
That's where you teach somebody else and they teach you.
No, that's where they have. It's the same like YouTube tutorials, but it's like they have professionals, not just amateur people doing it, but professionals that they actually you can pay they get paid for teaching. So like I can, like, if you wanted to learn drumming, you can have like your drum teacher through Skillshare.
Oh, okay, that's dope.
So I know that I'm not a audio engineer, but I took some like basic audio engineering classes.
I mean, I was telling people, I was like, take this time to learn something if you have the mental capacity to, because it affects people different ways. But I was like, learn something, and you got time to do what you've always been wanting to do. I know I've been wanting to play guitar, play piano, learn more about Ableton, and that's what I did.
Yeah, there you go.
And I enjoyed it. Every day I woke up, I had something to do, and still doing what I've always been doing with the live streams and stuff. So, but I was telling people, and I was telling artists, I'm like, just record, just do what you want to do.
I would tell artists just off of that, like, just come up with concepts.
Content.
Content was gonna win the day anyway. So even
Yeah.
if you did like a once a week, have a 16. Just drop like a freestyle 16, or have like a throwback beat. You do rap too.
Yeah.
And that's just all you're doing is sharpening that pen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just learn and keep on pushing. If you needed a break, take a break.
Mhm.
Like people were bad. And I remember when it first happened, people were like, "If you're not doing this, then you ain't blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Yo, like let people take a break." Now I did say something about people who are just doing too much, trying to get the attention. I was like, they're lame. Y'all need to pay. I was like, pay attention to these people saying such and such, because
They just
they
want
don't
the
mean, like, when it's all over, they just ain't shit. So I was like, pay attention to these people, because now you know who not to mess with when this is all over.
Yeah, and that's honestly something I've been not just taking it in context of that message, but also taking that in context of the message that we're talking about for the Black Lives Matter movement, because everybody's political right now, saying something, but that's just gonna be like, okay, I see what you said there, I know how to move correctly. I see what you said there. I see how you felt about me, us all over this COVID. You didn't call me check on me during the COVID-19 thing. You don't care.
Yeah,
Cool.
I saw the whole like call me and check on me thing. I saw people posting that. I was like, man, there's a lot going on. People don't like, I get why people saying it, like, but like people don't have time.
Yeah.
So,
but what I'm really saying is, like, there's some people who you should know to be in contact with, or have some, you just know how they responded to you about something.
Yeah.
And like, I can let you know a lot about how they think under duress. And that sometimes people think, be honest with you, under not just under the influence of alcohol, but under the influence of stress. They'll tell you how they feel about you realistically. So, like, just being like, taking that time and just being vigilant and listening. Taking that time to listen is the most important thing.
Yeah, and I saw a lot, and I mean, people were hitting me up when everything happened about George Floyd, when it first happened. I didn't say anything for like 3 days, like, and people were like, if you don't say anything and you're silent, and I saw that, and I was like, I'm a thinker, like, I'm not just gonna go out of there. I don't move with anger as a motivation. I never do that. I used to do that when I was younger. When I was in high school, it was like, oh, I'm angry, man, let's run up on this nigga. Like,
but like you said, that's something like you had to not just learn, but you just learn that you chew on. Like, I was like, thought like a cow chews on its food for a very long time before it does something stupid. Before it swallows. So I'm gonna chew on this. I'm sure that's how you felt about it. I'm gonna just sit here, think about it, think from different angles. Then you're gonna say something.
Yeah, and then I said something, and then I did something.
Yeah,
like, while other people were just being angry.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I was like, we need that. We need every single avenue. We need all of it. We needed the protests. We needed the riots.
Yeah.
We needed the thinkers. We need all of them at the same time for something to happen, something to change. But I was like, when I was thinking, I was like, I wonder where everybody was looking for the thinkers.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking for the leader or somebody to come out. Like, I said this on the show. Were you on that show when we were talking about black culture and does it exist?
No,
and black community, and if it exists?
I don't think I was on that show.
Word. Okay, so what I was talking on that show, I said, you were on, I think you were on the show after that or something.
But we always had good conversations on your shows.
On that show, I said, I was like, everybody's yearning. Everybody in the black community is like yearning for a leader, so they're like, they really want one really badly, because so they can articulate.
Yeah.
But nobody's really. It's crazy because anybody who stepped up to that plate has been killed.
Well, here's my theory.
We have the internet now, so I mean, everybody can be a leader. Just be smart.
But so here's my theory on that. Like, the black people, we needed leadership because we couldn't see, because we didn't have enough people who could read, write, understand these situations. But now that we have such more of a of course we still need more education, but we have a lot more broader education. A lot more people are educated, willing to take the time and listen, and be broader thinkers. Now that this generation of like our generation, the millennials and the people a little older than us are like enough are tired of enough of that shit. It's just like now we have we need a coalition of people.
Yeah,
because
I mean, we always did. I mean, back in the day, they had a coalition of people. They just put some to the forefront. There was more people than Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
They're just big. There were bigger. There was bigger figures. But I think like right now, like you said, I agree with you that we needed everybody, every part of the spectrum of what happened needed to be there. Like you needed the riots to show people that we were pissed.
Yeah.
You also need the riots to show people like, yo, we are serious
and we're scary.
Yeah, exactly. Then you need the protesters to be like, yo, we can be peaceful if you want. You know what I'm saying? And you also need
the protesters was showing that, hey, we've been doing this.
Yeah. And then you have people like me and you and other people. I don't want to just highlight us, but like me, I thought about this from a sociological perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you thought about this from a legal perspective, which is entirely legal and community law and community policy perspective, which is very important. But we needed people like even like Jen and Ashanta to help us, who have that reach to grab people and, hey, we need everybody out here together.
Yeah.
So we need people like everybody. By the way, you did a great job on Jen's live podcast.
Word, yeah.
Live, by the way. I did.
I had so much I had to say.
Yeah.
I was like, it's quick.
It's quick, but you said a lot in a little bit of time. But we can talk. Of course, we got another 30 minutes, so we can definitely talk about all of it.
Yeah, we're gonna run through it.
Yeah, exactly. But like the sociological perspective of what happened is important because you need to understand what happened to the communities that got us here in the first place. Not just the slavery part, but like the red line, the gerrymandering,
all of it.
Them literally buying you out of your community.
You can go further back than that too.
Exactly. The sharecropping, we can go that far where you didn't own anything. And
Jim Crow. We can talk about the laws after you were released from slaves to then keep you a slave. You can talk about how it's written in the Constitution.
We can talk about that fake apprenticeship thing they did after the war, where they just try to make slavery sound like you're getting a job but not getting paid. So you're just learning how to farm when you've been farming your whole life.
You can talk about being tough on crime.
Yeah, exactly.
You can talk about the Democrats. You can talk.
we honestly, we can talk about how once one of the original forms of police was the slave catcher, and people don't understand where the term cracker really comes from. The term cracker doesn't mean just a white person. It means somebody who's literally coming to crack the whip on you. So like, when you call anybody in a position of authority a cracker, that black person can be a cracker. There was black overseers for a reason, because they wanted to show somebody being of your kind being overpower of you. So, like, there's anybody can be a cracker. Anybody can technically be a nigga, but it's different. It's how you use those words. It's when you use those words and whom you use those words to. I'm just gonna put that out there. Whom you use those words to matter. Okay. So let's get into what you wrote. Let's get into the things that we need to do as far as the entertainment industry and artists who are wanting to be involved with the movement, what they can actually do to affect change, starting with themselves and starting with the community as a whole.
Yeah, the whole thing is like, you got to kind of figure out how not to preach, because people don't listen to preach, which is weird. They don't listen to you preaching at them. So as an artist, you can start with the people around you who listen to you. There's people who already listen to you when you talk. So start with them and be like, hey, do this. You have that influence if they're already listening to you talk. And it's really about spreading the knowledge of how, not spreading what if.
Yeah.
Spreading how to fix, how to get things done, or a method. Because right now there's no methods. Everybody's like, how did we let this happen? How? And it's like, it's designed this way to happen this way. So here's how to fix it. Let's share that idea. And the more you share that idea of how to potentially fix it, they'll no longer be like, well, it is what it is. Just get used to it, you know?
Hold on a second. Hold us
Uh-oh.
down. Hold us down. Come on.
All right, yeah. So I'm down. Let's do a roll call in the chat. See who's all in there. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. I saw my man John Cray was in there. My man Suku in there. Suku driving. Rochelle was good, and whoever else is in there. If you're in there, make sure you throw a wave in the chat room. But yeah, my man is going to get the charger here, and we are just chilling right now. But just to get back on what I was saying, I was just saying that what artists can do in these times is really just share the how, if they have the how. If they don't have the how, go to if you're a protester, protest. You know, if you're like, I don't know how to fix it, I'm trying to figure out how to fix it, but that ain't me. I can't figure that out. Protest. Use your influence to, show something that you stand for. If you are a thinker, think. And then talk to that person who may have that influence and be like, hey, this is how. So now that person who may not know how can start spreading a how.
Definitely.
If that makes sense.
Definitely. I think everybody understanding how to not just fall in line, but how to live within the realm of what they know what they can do.
Yeah.
So you gotta have some type of level of commitment to understanding. I'm not going to be able. Not all of us can be Martin Luther King. Not all of us can be Malcolm. We needed Martin and Malcolm. You know what I'm saying? You need somebody to preach. Okay, we can do this. You gotta have it the nice way.
Yeah.
You need somebody to say we can get it the hard way if you want to. So you need both sides. I feel like that's the most important thing that we need to be able to articulate. And then also you need people on the forefront to walk, to be the lobbyists, to be the government people who can stand up and talk on the same eye level with some of these people, to be in the system, who can put that pressure on the politicians. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
first off, it all starts with one thing I'm actually excited for is like in the entertainment industry that's happening is LeBron James starting a voter initiative. We even saw a little baby march and help give even for him. He marched in Atlanta, but guess what he did? He helped get food and water and bought food and water for these people to march, so they can sustain the energy.
Yeah.
So it's like just having people to be able to understand, like, your level is not going to be the same level as everybody else's level, but your action is still very important.
Yeah, whatever you can, just do what you can. As simple as that. I always tell people when they like start stressing out, I'm like, do what you can. Like, if you can't do it, then you can't do it. But you know what you can do, so do what you can.
Facts.
Like, it's almost like you instantly know what you can do, and as you're doing it, you're gonna figure out what you can do. Like, what more you can do. So it's like, do what you can. My man's trying to play.
Now you just hit the mic. Leon. He wants to play tug of war. Leon, go to bed.
Oh, he don't even want it. He just wants to lick.
Go to bed. Please. I'm in the middle of doing. Hey. Go. Sorry, y'all. My dog. If you're on the podcast, if you hear me making these random noises, that's my dog over here trying to play with my boy John. Get some attention. Get pets. Play tug of war. He's trying to do everything. But of course, one thing I want to make sure that we do talk about is, of course, some more entertainment news. Please, by the way, voting is coming up soon. Make sure you're registered to vote November 3rd.
That voting. I thought we were
August
talking
3rd,
local. August 18th, I think, is local.
Okay, August 18th. So you got to vote. And this is Orlando, Florida, by the way.
Yeah, that's Orlando.
So, like we said, you got to make sure you take care of your city councilman. You got to take care of your mayor votes. You got to take care of your sheriff votes. Any type of vote that you think is really going to...
All along.
Oh, not even just that, your school superintendent, which is really... You want to have somebody have a good say in what your kid's getting educated. My middle school principal was my school superintendent in elementary school and high school, which means my mom voted for him because she's like, I knew he was going to take care of you. I know he's going to take care of the other kids, even though he did turn out to be kind of corrupt. Anyway.
We're having that conversation in the Discord right now about like who handles the money that goes to these schools. And we're trying to figure out education reform. Now, like, that's our next: education reform, mental health reform, and there's healthcare reform, constitutional reform. We're trying to figure out all those things, but the education conversation is the one that's kind of booming. Education and mental health are booming right now. It's a big task. Yeah, because it's really, you're figuring out where the money's going and how it's moving, and once you figure that out, you figure out what's wrong.
But that's something that we as a group of people that, like I said, it's not us. It's we didn't set it up that way, but we need to understand how it's happening, where's it going. But we've been so far behind in understanding how the connections actually go this way and that way, left or right. Who knows what? Who does what? That we've actually we need to we're starting behind, like in everything else in the country. We're starting behind.
Mm-hmm.
But it's now the time for us to really come to a point where we're actually understanding, becoming educated about it. I really appreciate that you're doing the Discord to get people, just having a place for people to talk about it.
Just regular people, man. And if you don't have any ideas, just read it.
Yeah, read it. I'll even ask you guys to just, even when you're at these black empowerment meetings or these Black Lives Matter meetings, that's one thing I made a video about. Like, ask them about their agenda. It's one thing to keep marching in circles, but force them on an agenda. What are we going to do next? Who are we voting for?
Yeah.
Tell me why we're voting for this person. Like, if you're going to any Black Lives Matter movement or NAACP movement, that's the thing. That's my only frustration is that it took weeks for NAACP or Color Change people to like have a plan. I mean, like we want to take part in these big organizations because they not just we need leadership, but we need a group of people who can help us think next.
What's crazy? It took us 3 days to come up with 24 things for police reform.
Exactly.
In that Discord, it took the NAACP
a week or something.
Week for 6.
Yeah, I think so. It was insane. Like,
I mean, we used 2 or 3 off of the NAACPs because there came out a day before ours, but we used 2 or 3 off of theirs because it was good ideas. But then they had some other stuff on there that isn't a good idea.
Yeah. And
my opinion,
I think the NAACP needs to handle that nationally, but we need to handle the local policies as far as the community people.
Yeah. We created, ours was local and national, so it was universal. So that's why we made it so anybody anywhere could copy and paste it and send it to their representative.
That's good.
Doesn't matter where you are.
So we'll make sure we share the Discord link. So if you want to be involved in the conversations to take the next steps, please do that. I'm also going to engage the artists I work with to take care of that conversation in their own spaces, and also with my friends like that. I'm going to do that as well. I think the next step for me is I'm going to try to tie in something into my events to be into the protest movement. So my next event is July 26th, which will be a concert, showcase concert with local artists and one artist from out of town. The town artist is my friend D. Horton, who was on the front lines of protesting for Ricky Bell, who was a person who unfortunately died in police custody as well. He was the police officer. They dismissed the case with no prejudice. So like they're not even going to think about reopening or investigating it, just dismissed it without any prejudice. And so he actually did a petition. They protested in front of he's from Mississippi. I grew up in Mississippi. He's from Mississippi. So he actually different level of expectations there. So he went out there, he protested, went to Jackson, went to the state house, questioned the state attorney general to their face. He's been able to be on TV, been able to get interviews, and he's a dope artist. Definitely has a political message, and definitely is a part of the bigger part of the movement because he took part in it physically, and then he's also being more of an activist mindset. So I'm going to try to tie in something of what I'm doing to everything to Black Lives Matter or some type of way.
Yeah, that's good. We got to figure something out because I don't have the answer to that. Like what we've talked about, like my whole idea with everything was like, if the masses were just educated and or just understood, and then they could spread it. Yeah, and then it spreads like wildfire, and it's like it can't be tracked down who started it or who did what, but it's an idea that's good, that's just spreading around, and then the new politicians coming up are going to be like, I'm going to run on that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, vote for them. But
it takes a process.
It's everybody. I was saying this yesterday. I was like, right now, everybody just wants to be angry. It seems it's like some people are asking for like, oh, what do we do next? What do we do next? But most people kind of just want to be angry, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Keep that energy going. But at some point you got to be like, all right, what can I do besides yelling at a police officer who can't change anything?
Exactly. That yelling at the police. That's why on Sunday I was just marching like, thanks for being out here, bro. Thanks for being out here. Cause look, I'm like, I don't have time to. I can't fight you. I need to fight the system.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you fight the system, you can change the people who make up that police officer force.
Well, in theory, because I've actually never heard of any account where somebody has changed a system from within.
Well, I mean, but I'm not saying from within.
No.
I mean, like us actually doing what we need to do to not even just defund the police, but like even like in Camden, New Jersey, where
Yeah, you know I'm against that word, that term,
Yeah,
defund.
we reallocate police funds.
Yeah,
There you go.
there's people who really mean defund though, and for them, keep using it. But you already see how it's confusing,
Yeah.
right? You already see what I've been trying to
Exactly,
explain.
but it's also because people. That's my whole thing about everything else. You can't let people hijack the narrative by misinterpreting things. You got to be very literal and very specific with what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that you said on Jen's thing.
your voice is small right now. Our voice is small.
Mhm.
We don't have real, like, I mean, Killer Mike. We have black leaders essentially,
Yeah.
or people
Black
who
voices.
are yeah.
Black
we have
voices.
we have black voices, but we don't, as a community or as a entity or as whatever, the minorities or the people of people of this country. The majority of people in this country have no voice. The people who do have a voice are these corporations,
Yeah.
are the people, are the rich,
Yeah.
and they make up what, 8%, 1 to 8% of the population.
Yeah, definitely.
The rest of the population has no voice.
Yeah.
White, black, Puerto Rican, Spanish. I mean, there's entities that have less of a voice, which
Yeah.
is blacks, Mexicans, immigrants, and stuff like that. But
Even-
most
even-
of America doesn't have a voice.
Yeah, even poor whites, even white people regular white people in general. It's just how they just what politicians want to do. They want to mobilize you as a caucus and use that. They want, I got all these people over here. They're gonna vote for me for this,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one thing we gotta do. If we're gonna mobilize together, we gotta hold them accountable for what we're doing. So I want in what I was writing in my book, my little narrative I wrote. I haven't sent it to you.
Nah.
But what I said is like we need to have build our coalitions to a point as far as a group of people. Like NAACP was at one point was something to be reckoned with. The SCLC was something to be reckoned with at one point, but they're not strong anymore.
Well, because the people who were prominent figures in it have been taken down.
Taken down. So we need to. That's one thing we need to kind of coalesce together and then have a way to bring, like when the JDL holds a gala, all the politicians come running. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to speak of JDL. I want to speak of the JDL. You know what I'm saying? We need to have our situation to a point where they want to come to us and then we can have somebody to hold them accountable to our vote and to our policies. And that's one thing that we're missing, of course, in this kind of era right now. So I think when it comes down to this, it's going to take not just the voices of people like Ice Cube, not just the voices of people like Killer Mike, but people to actually mobilize people because they can only do so much.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's our problem. Like we can individually,
Yeah.
we can only do so much.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I was banking on just, the with the internet now, things just spreading like wildfire. If just people would share.
But the thing is, like, if people would share, that'd be great. But the thing is, there's so much
out there.
There's so much out there. And that's one thing I was saying. Like, people can pull something to validate how they think, and they count that as fact. But the problem is, they let that be that thing, but they don't ever do the next things to do to Leon. Sorry about this, y'all. John, you're gonna have to come back and see my dog. He's like, yo, hey, go to bed. Go. They can hear you on the mic, dude. But overall, like once we get, they pull threads of ideas, not even like facts, but threads of ideas that verify their way of thinking, and they don't fact check of why that was debunked, why that doesn't work. They just run with it.
Yeah, man.
And that's why people don't have an idea of what to follow.
Yes, everything's wrong, man. It's a I don't know where it's all gonna go. I have hope. That's all I can have.
Yeah. And nobody would have thought 2020 would have turned out as crazy as it did, bro.
No, I definitely didn't.
What was your goal? What was your
said,
original goal for 2020?
I was touring.
And that's out the window.
Yeah, that went out the window quick.
Coronavirus. Damn.
It was actually starting to shape up and everything. And boom, it was like, all right, bet.
Let's go.
All right. I had put in for my like I finally put in for my passport and everything. I still haven't even got my birth certificate back or nothing.
Oh
Because,
man, that's all hard.
yeah, because they froze it. So
They're just hanging out in, in a dusty bin or something like that.
So
in
like
the outgoing bin.
so that's what happened to my plans, and I just had to readjust, and I was like, well, let me keep doing what I'm doing because when we get out of this, it's just gonna be better.
Yeah.
So I was like,
there's more opportunity too. Yeah.
yeah.
I think one thing for me, my plans, of course, were to do my shows, and I had booked everything. I had booked 2 dates and everything for my events, and now it's pushed back. Now I gotta make calls. I sold every ticket for my showcase.
Yeah, I remember that. Yours was right dead in the middle where it was like, are we closing? Are we not
closing?
Yeah.
Exactly. But then it was like, okay, we're closing. I gotta refund all these tickets.
Yep.
So it's like, knowing how 2020 came out to be, I think honestly, like people have been talking about, like 2020 is going to be a year to be remembered.
It's historic, man.
And I honestly, I thank God that when this happened, everybody was sitting at home, because that's what made a difference. If everybody was still at work, there wouldn't have been no 10,000 people protesting.
It's because people had time. It was a perfect storm. Everybody had the time.
Yeah, we got time today.
And that's where they messed up. I guess they didn't think people had the time. Everybody had the time. I guess they didn't think it was going to go this way. I think they thought people would just be, I don't know. History has shown it'll go this way. I don't know. History keeps repeating itself. So maybe they do know how it will work. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah. So we're going to talk about some last little bits of some entertainment / Corona / this crazy
All right
time. Okay. So, I don't know if you got a chance to catch these Ice Cube tweets, bro.
No.
Ice Cube went off. Of course, he's Mr. Fuck the Police.
Yeah.
Mr. America.
He's been very chill. He's trying to get the basketball league going. This kind of sucks for his basketball league. What's happening right now?
I know, but but the best thing about his league, it's kind of old timers who want to play anyway.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to worry about, do you want to play or not, or do you have all this stuff. He has people who, and it's very limited. 3-on-3. You can. I feel watching 3-on-3 basketball is a lot easier than.
I went to a game. The biggest drawback to the game is it's too long because all the teams play.
Oh, it's all in one day.
Yeah, so it's way too long. If they would need to make it 2 days. If they made it 2 days, it'll be dope.
Okay, I need to check that out. Where'd you go see that at?
Down in Miami.
All right, so they just travel all together.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Every team.
So he was tweeting so much shit that he had to verify that his Twitter was not hacked.
What was he saying?
Bro, he was tweeting about like the police. How about MAGA and all this? Talking about Trump. Of course, Ice Cube never been afraid to cuss out somebody on Twitter or in person.
That's good.
So he's definitely one of those people that we needed. But definitely Ice Cube's always had the time. He wrote lyrics for having the time.
Yeah.
Another thing is I don't know if you've heard about dog. What?
Stressing out.
We're keeping his emotions, all his indiscretions, his emotions, all in the show. My dog's gonna be featured through this, so I'm gonna put featured Leon in this. All right. People are definitely coming down on YG as far as his new song.
I heard it. I was sitting there listening to it like, damn, should I download this to play tonight?
Oh,
and I didn't download it, but just because for me it wasn't that great.
FDT wasn't that great either.
It wasn't that great, so I was like, it's not even that great of a song, so I'm not going to download it. But I heard it.
Okay.
Were people saying it's bad or like
people were trying to give YG stick for doing another FD whatever.
Wow.
But by that point, I don't care. It's in his character. Like he's gonna say he's a former gang member. Who's gonna say? Who else?
I like what he was saying in this new one. He was hitting the nail on the head. I didn't doubt that. It wasn't an anthem.
Yeah.
Which they were kind of like trying to make it seem like it was going to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't an anthem. It seemed like it should just be on the album.
Okay. How did you feel about the Grammys and Universal Records taking out urban from their stuff? Do you feel like
I don't care about the and that's not saying that.
No,
it's just like the Grammys and all those award shows, like even the BET Awards and stuff. I don't think about them. Like, even if I was at it, I would just be like, it is what it is. It's politics, man.
Yeah, that's all.
They don't care.
That's when your manager comes in valuable right there.
Yeah, they don't care. They just wanna. It's all for show.
Yeah.
It's them patting themselves on the back, getting sponsorships. It's corporate money, man. Like Tyler the Creator said, and that's why I like when he just kind of trolls it.
Yeah.
Even though he goes and he'll win an award and stuff, like that's what I'm saying. I would go if I was nominated and win the award, but they better not let me do a speech. Well, no, I won't slander.
I'm going up. If I'm on the stage, I'm gonna get my little 5 minutes until they play me off.
Yeah. So,
first off, you better have Sandman to come get me off that stage.
It's all BS, man. It's all. It doesn't matter. Is pretty much what I'm saying. Like, who gave them the right to say who was the best? Like, I mean, who gave them the right to send out the ballots to the people they send them out to?
Yeah.
But who
they do a horrible job of actually having committees for things that actually make sense. It's all, like you said, it's like everybody.
The Oscars are more reputable because the Oscars actually, it's among peers within that genre, within that field. Like the Grammys is what? Oh, you have a high school diploma. Here's a ballot,
and you have money.
And you got to vote on. You got to vote on rap. Oh, you're from rural Kentucky. Here, vote on rap.
Exactly. all you listen to is bluegrass music. I don't know. Oh, that's why you get Macklemore.
So yeah, exactly. That's why that happens, because they've seen his name enough. So they're like, Macklemore. Yeah, I've seen him on TV.
Yeah,
he must be prominent. He can beat out Kendrick. His album was better
for no reason.
So, and then people make such a big deal about it. It's like, yo, it's just a Grammy, man. That doesn't define your career.
It looks good.
Maybe it can make you more money if you're like, I'm a Grammy, or I'm a Grammy winning, or
Grammy nominated. But like overall, I feel like this year, even with some of the entertainment stuff, when you look at some of I think it's more pandering. I think I'll be real with you. We've been complaining about them saying urban music forever. Then as soon as some black guy gets shot, or two black guys get shot, one black girl gets shot, they like, oh, we're going to take urban out of it, and then we're going to name it some other bullshit.
I used to always wonder when I was young. I was like, what does urban mean?
I hated that.
Does it mean city?
Yeah.
What does it mean? I always thought, and I think the definition is it's city. It's like an urban city. It's a concrete jungle, essentially. But when they call it urban music, it's like, are you saying hood music? Like, what are you saying?
That's exactly what they're saying. These black people music. You know what I mean? But they should just say, instead of urban music, hip hop, R&B music.
Yeah. Call it what it is.
That's all you got to do.
Call it what it is.
Grammys, we fixed it for you.
Yeah. It's like, call it what it is, man. It has a name.
Melodic rap song. Just say
hip hop, R&B.
Hip hop, R&B.
Or just the melodic rap song is hip hop.
Yeah, just say hip hop.
All the mumble rap is hip hop. Like, now, if you want to break it down to be like, break it down, you could do a whole hip hop awards with separate categories.
Yeah.
But if y'all got to commit to do that, if y'all want to do that.
Matter of fact, they can do hip hop versus rap. Because rap is more like, hip hop is rap song, and rap is just rap.
Yeah, they could do that, but
they choose to make it difficult.
They don't care. Like, they don't care.
Of course, everybody, I appreciate you, John, for coming through.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's been fun. My dog's been being a character today. I was gonna put him in the bedroom, but I'm like, he might need to use the bathroom, so I'm like, leave him at the door. But of course, everybody, it's Facts Podcast. You can find me and my boy John and anybody who else is on the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and among that, YouTube, where you see this whole video of my dog acting a fool. Oh my God. But of course, my boy John Q, give him your socials.
All right, it's you guys can follow me. My name is John Q. You can follow me at the letter I, the letter M, and then underscore, and then John Q. A lot of people put IAM, and that's not what it is. It's I, and then the letter M, underscore John Q. And that's what you can find me on everything with that: SoundCloud, Facebook, YouTube, everything. Instagram is what I'm mostly on. Facebook, I will respond to messages. Just give me time. And that's where you can find me.
Definitely, guys. He is a great thinker, a great a scholar, a great musician, and definitely a great DJ as well. I really appreciate y'all guys for y'all was one of the first groups to give me an opportunity to DJ with y'all down here. This random
Yeah,
guy
that's
walking up.
crazy. That's crazy because we were still new.
Yeah, it's like,
We were still new here.
it's like yo,
But nobody gave us a shot. And I think we talked about that. I was like, nobody really gave us a shot, so we just started doing our own. And it was just like, whatever, we're gonna give, like, we just gonna reach out to people who we think are dope, who are just doing their thing. But another thing, if you guys want to find this Discord server where we're all talking about reform, I don't remember. It's like discord.com/gh blah
do you
blah
have
blah.
the link in your
It's
on your pages?
It is on my pages. It's not like in a bio or anything. Right now, currently in my bio is the email template for police reform.
That's important too.
Yeah, that's in my bio. But if you want to find the Discord, just either message me or look on my page. It's on my pages. So if you want to join and have the conversation, if you want the email template or anything else that you want to look at, it's in the Discord. But if you want to join the Discord, email me. And also just check my page. That's simpler.
Definitely, guys. Thanks a lot. Of course, it's Facts Podcast. Of course, your boy DJ Spyda down, and my dog's getting on the couch. You have a good night. Thanks a lot. It's your boy DJ Spyda and John Q. Yeah.